Bitcoin became increasingly correlated with equities towards the end of the fourth quarter of the last year and fell when faced with the prospect of the central bank tightening. Hello and welcome back to the Crypto Live. If you haven't already, consider hitting the subscribe button and turning on post notification. Bitcoin has started rising again in the start of the 2022. This price of Bitcoin as of the starting the year was $47,000. Coin price is now back up to $44,000. And we can't see any symbol of the stopping. Another report of the many platforms, analysts and experts predicting that the Bitcoin to hit $200,000 in the second half of the year. Some experts and investors said Bitcoin could hit $200,000 in the second half of 2022. That's almost a 500% increase from the crypto's price. Ali Mazani has predicted Bitcoin price since 2016 when the price was around $900. He predicted massive growth in Bitcoin price up to $4,000 in the few months. His prediction forecast comes true on August 13, 2017. Bitcoin reached the price of $4,000. And again he predicted the Bitcoin price to reach $18,000 in the 4 months. While the $100,000 Bitcoin predictions were away during the last month of the 2021, Bitcoin price predictions are starting to resurface this year. Bitcoin is the largest coin by market cap, which is more than $10,027 billion last year. Bitcoin had a price run-up of 70% but is currently trading at a 40% decline from its all-time high of nearly $70,000. A foreign state company said that Bitcoin will be increased by almost 500% from the current price to around $200,000 in the near future. To overcome price predictions of Bitcoin is the $200,000 target. Bitcoin would need to attract another wave of investors and the holders that would hold the coin enterprise prediction and the targets will meet. It would also require the market to rebound in the second half, but prices are already notably higher. Bitcoin is our number one altcoin and cryptocurrency. Analysts predicted that the Bitcoin could reach $200,000 in the second half of the year. Some days ago, the Bitcoin price was fell wildly. And the same analyst was predicting that the Bitcoin would be large and will touch the $8,800, and this prediction was come true when Bitcoin on this trading point, as we can see in the chart. The world's biggest and the most traded cryptocurrency Bitcoin has been classified as a volatile crypto asset class. Is expected to touch $200,000 in the second half despite its amazing start to 2020. Cryptocurrency analysts are a quite key opinionated bunch. Some analysts predicted that cited the following price prediction from investment banking analysts. Goldman Sachs forecast Bitcoin would reach $10,000 in the 2022. JP Morgan had to hit $148,000 but slashed it to $38,000. While Citigroup project management and would reach $318,000. As we can see from this chart, in the past week, Bitcoin values has increased with the Bitcoin climbing over 10% and the Ethereum jumping more than 15% respectively. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin to USDT. As you can see, the price is moving in an uptrend channel which is marked with the blue lines. Let's start with the support line, and you can see that the first support in the near future too is $39,000. If the support breaks down, the next one is $37,000. Now let's move from the resistance line. As you can see, the first resistance is $41,400. If you can break it, the next resistance will be the $42,000 and the $43,000 respectively. We can see that in the 4-hour interval we have a lot of energy and we can expect movement in inspiring hours. Bitcoin was reached $18,000 to the $20,000 by the end of the 2020. Good news, it is not going to be the end of the line. Analysts think that the Bitcoin price will reach $30,000 target by area of the end of the 2022. Cathie Wood has said numerous times that $100,000 Bitcoin is impossible in 2022. Citing the fact that Bitcoin's settlement volume has surpassed MasterCard, she further says that the recent network upgrades and increased use to the payments app Lightning networks on a Bitcoin blockchain and driving its scales and the utility. Cathie Wood predicted the value of the single Bitcoin could top to $15,000 by the 2026 and $1 million by the 2030. Now let's take a look at some technical analysis of the Bitcoin's chart pattern. Long-term price predictions in some cases can be truth. Especially on Bitcoin, they tend to be particularly accurate. Its historic long-term patterns on the logarithmic scale have never been invalidated to this and show that each cycle shares more characteristics than not to be with the previous ones. The big thing about those long-term charts is that they manage to keep investors and the traders on the track when the market appears to be the losing direction. Bitcoin recent managed 40% sell-off from the November's all-time high. As you can see that the typical takes place at the top of the cycle. The final rally makes the below of top just below the 1.5% Fibonacci extensions of the channels and the 2.3% and the horizontal. This repetitive pattern has never failed to deliver. Well, now the time will tell. But now if you can see that Bitcoin USD nears $200,000, $250,000 by the May 2025, the key currently for the price to keep closing above the 1WMA50. Despite the wide and the long-term predictions swings from the preceding analysts, another Bitcoin tracker said that there are two factors that could ultimately push the Bitcoin price to meet its price target area of $200,000. The two factors necessary to reach its target price are currently investors moving into crypto and regulatory actions to legitimize the digital asset sector. The Citibank executive said that Bitcoin's 2010-11 exponential move as being very reminiscent of the 97's gold market. Gold has experienced 50 years of the contractor's $20 to $35 price range before a breakout occurred after a change in fiscal policy by the Nixon administrations in 1971. We are all know that Bitcoin's starting price was very low. Crypto analyst Willie Wu warns investors not to tickle and dim entries in the thriving digital coin. He asks why anyone would switch a few $1,000s per entry when the price per Bitcoins will eventually hit $100,000 to $200,000 and $300,000 in 2022. According to Bob Bailey, co-founder and the former CEO of the crypto exchange BTC, Bitcoin could soar as high as $300,000 in the current bull market. Bitcoin's price fell down recently after a series of developments such as Tesla's decisions to stop Bitcoin's payment and China cause of a crackdown on crypto mining and transactions shocks the digital assets market. All the videos on my channel is only for entertainment purposes, not trading advice. We are not a licensed financial advisor. Be cautious during putting your dream asset value in cryptocurrencies and consult with your financial advisor. We are not responsible for any financial loss occur. While at $200,000 Bitcoin this year would be great, it's unlikely to occur. When you consider the level of the dysfunctions in the Congress, crypto regulation will not be a priority issue before the politicians break off the summer recessions in July to begin campaigning for the midterm elections in November. Also, there does not appear to be a catalyst to trigger a 2% investment transfer from a baby boomers' retirement accounts into crypto. Investors should note that the Bitcoin's value could fall as much as 80% to 90% value from the all-time high peak. As you can see from the chart, Golden Cross is up to a 200-day moving average by the 50-day average. In 2020, Bitcoin printed Golden Cross on daily chart as a result within 1 year where Bitcoin reached $64,000 from $8,000. That's 100% of the growth. If Bitcoin managed to print Golden Crossover again and hold above it with the Bitcoin, we will reach $300,000 from a $40,000 level by the end of the 2022. That's it for today. If you haven't already, consider hitting the subscribe button and turning on post notification so you will never miss any of our future fascinating and interesting videos like that one. See you next time.